It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends. I want to thank everybody that actually subscribes to my show, Show Me Love. And I would say this is everybody's show, because I'm really appreciative to the viewers that actually subscribes to me and everything. In the House of the Legends, I've been trying to get this guy on my show, and we talked about it. Things happened. And so we're back, coming all the way from Baltimore. I give you the legendary Ed Ramsey. What's going on,
Thank
man?
you. Thank you. How you doing, Tyrone?
Hey, man.
Finally
Good to
made
have
it.
you on my show, man.
Finally made it.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take it down to years ago when
Mm-hmm.
you actually started to really have an interest in music and you actually wanted to express yourself. Can you
Right.
tell the viewers about that?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, so my interest and love of music started at a very early age. I grew up in a household of musicians and
Okay.
singers. My mom actually used to travel and sing her group with Shirley Caesar.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
I mean, and funny thing that occurred, even when I was born, my mom's water broke while she was on the choir stand.
Really?
So,
So you was born right into perfection.
Oh man, music has always been a part of my life, man.
Okay,
I
yeah.
took piano lessons. I played the trumpet. I played drums. My parents introduced me to all genres of music.
Okay.
And so my sisters, all my sisters' cousins, they all sing and play instruments, and
Okay.
so
That's
I've
a
been
nice
around music.
affiliation to be around.
Yeah, I've been around music all my life.
So when you started to actually say to yourself, well, I can play instruments and I want to play, did you ever thought of yourself having a voice?
I didn't really actually start taking singing and music seriously until I went to college.
Oh, okay.
Again, I was always around it, always around music, but I didn't really start to explore my voice until I was in college, man.
Okay.
And so once I started doing that, I actually started writing. I started singing with a group, contemporary kind of Christian group.
Okay.
And we were doing some traveling. Again, I went to college in Oklahoma, so
Right,
we were
right.
traveling in that area,
Right.
Oklahoma,
And how
Texas.
was the energy out there as far as you guys giving it away?
Oh man, it was being young and exploring your art.
Right.
The energy was incredible, man. I mean, we were at it every day. I mean, we were dedicated,
That's
focused, even while we were in school.
Right.
And had the opportunity to perform in some some big venues. So
Okay.
so yeah, it was a beautiful thing, and a lot of the guys that I sang with, we're still friends. We still stay in contact today.
Okay.
They're spread across the country. So
It's nice when you have something like that going on and somebody
Yeah.
runs up to you and say, "Listen, can I manage you?"
right.
How was the manager concept for you guys? I mean, I always talk about that because viewers always seem to head in that direction about how management actually treats you. Were they reliable or, were they a little off key? Things like that.
Yeah, so with that group, again, we were very early on, and still learning a lot.
Right, okay.
And so some friends of ours who had done some work in the industry, they were from LA.
Okay.
Started to kind of manage us and help
Right,
us and got us gigs.
That's great.
And
That's
got
what I
us
wanna hear,
opportunities,
Right.
to perform in the venues that we performed in.
Okay.
And so they were very accommodating. They were, they helped us learn the
Right,
business.
yeah.
uh,
That's mostly important.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Of course, contracts and all that great stuff. So yeah, no, they were good.
That's
And
cool.
again, they were young too, so full of energy. And the good thing was we aligned on
Right.
what our vision was. That's another thing. That alignment in vision and purpose.
Right.
They really heard us. And they were like, okay, we're gonna go in this direction.
They
And fostered
they
and
bonded
nurtured
with
that.
the chemistry.
Yeah.
That's cool. What I want to ask you was that the love of house music. How did you actually come across that? Because you sent me so much tracks of your stuff, and I'm still playing them. You know, I
Right.
play every week on LWR,
Right.
and I always got something out of it because I play a lot of soul house. I play a lot of Afro.
Right.
I play a little bit of everything, really. But when you get into that mellow mood of soul house, it's a whole different.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Especially when the mixes are smooth,
Right,
and it takes you to
right.
a whole different
Yeah.
equation.
Yeah. That's what we're
So
trying to do.
your love
Yeah.
of house music, how were you actually introduced to it?
Oh man, so like I said, my parents introduced me to a lot of genres of music, but house music is a genre that I found.
Oh, okay.
I grew up in Queens,
Right,
in
okay.
Queens, New York. Before I moved to Baltimore, I moved to Baltimore when I was going into 10th grade. I was almost 15.
Okay.
So at around 14 years old, I'm at home. I'm in Queens. It's late. I'm flipping stations on the radio. You know,
Right,
back in the
yeah.
day,
Yeah.
you flipping stations.
Uh-huh.
And I'm hearing this. You know, I'm hearing this.
Yeah.
And it's Tony Humphries,
Right.
right? And I'm like, whoa, you know, being that I play drums and everything,
Right,
I was
right.
like, I'm feeling this. It had
Yeah.
a very, you know, rhythmic. It was
gravitating.
gravitating. It had this tribal feel to it.
Right,
and it was like boom, 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 you know, and then I got like just entranced with it. And I kept listening and I was like, whoa, I love this, you know? And that's how I got introduced, 14 years old, listening to the radio, listening to Tony Humphries mixing, you know. And
You ever
then,
been to Zanzibar when he was there?
No. By that time, we moved to Baltimore and then finished high school and went off to college in Oklahoma, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you if you knew about the Paradise Garage.
Never went to, I heard about it all the time.
Okay.
Never had the opportunity to
Because
go.
if your music was playing on that system right now, oh my goodness.
I wish
This
I
guy
could,
is hot.
I
This
wish
guy
I
is
could,
definitely
could,
hot, man.
could wind back, you know, the hands of time, man. But
Yeah.
but yeah, no, used to hear so much about those legendary venues, like in Baltimore. They have Odell's and Club Fantasy and Paradox. You know,
Right.
those are
The major
clubs. Very
Right.
back in the day, they're very similar to in
Right,
terms of
right.
reputation,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So I didn't get an opportunity, but working with producers and DJs like DJ OG, he's from Brooklyn. Working with DJ Pope, who's from Chicago.
Right.
And then a lot of the producers that I work with producers from Chicago, from France, from
Right.
the UK. They always because they
great.
all were in those venues. They always give you the history, right?
Right, yeah.
So no, I definitely try to take time to appreciate that history of those venues,
Right.
and the DJs and the music, of course.
Yeah.
And what that all meant, and what it still means today.
Let's talk about some of your live performances now. The very, very first entertainment that you did live in front of anybody. Can you describe the feeling behind that?
Oh man.
Just knowing that
just
it
to
was
be-
a packed house and, the adrenaline and the whole nine. I just love to hear that. Let's talk about that.
I was nervous.
Okay.
Very nervous. And this is when I was with the group.
Right, right.
I was it was exciting, but I was nervous. We were performing at a fashion show in a entertainment center. It was
Right.
pretty big,
Right, right, uh-huh.
And so we're on this big stage, big lights, like whoa,
I hear that, yeah.
But being with a group, and everyone kind of feeding off one another,
Right, the
you
energy,
kind of
yeah.
get through and work through those nerves. But yeah, man, it was exciting, as well as a little nervousness, a little, just trying to take in the moment.
Right.
And but But once we started performing and singing, man, you kind of lose all of that.
It's like being like the 5 heartbeats.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. You just kind of get lost in
Right.
in the presentation and delivery
that's
of the song. But yeah. I mean, it definitely, man. All these emotions kind of triggering at one time.
Yeah.
And then that feeling of, man, I'm actually doing what I plan to do, what I wanted to do, and that was exciting too.
And that's cool, man, because you seem to have a drive. I mean, I could just tell because you're in the studio a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I've got so many tracks from you, man, and they all have a different meaning to them. But people just listen to the music; they don't listen to the intensity of what you're actually trying to say from the heart.
Yeah.
You know, and stuff. Do you write for most of your tracks, or?
I write all my songs, yeah.
Okay.
And not unless we're doing a cover, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I do all my writing. I do, of course, all my vocals in terms of background.
Okay.
And all that too. So and my songs are really inspired by what I like to call Christian themes.
Yeah,
you know, they're inspired by
it has that edge.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, like,
it's
you know.
contemporary but gospel too.
Yeah,
but you got to
yeah.
look for it.
Yeah.
You understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's the vibes are nice. I played a lot of your stuff because I'm like, one day this guy sent me a WAV file like crazy. I'm like, wow, you know, and I was like really, really appreciative, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah. I
know?
wanted you to kind of get a feel of, you know, my presentation,
Right.
but also what I'm trying to say. You know,
Yeah.
For me, it's all about love and joy and restoration
Right.
and you know, because in relationships and in families and just in general in the
Right,
world
right.
that we live in, man, we need those themes to be
Exactly.
prevalent. You know, because everything's trying to rip us apart, man. You know. And so that's what I really try to focus on. Love from the standpoint of all directions, whether it's love for self, love for family, community, love in relationships, you know, and then just the overall joy. House music, it brought me a lot of joy coming up and listening to it. And when I
Right.
listen to it today, so a lot of times I go to events and I get lost in the music.
I hear
man.
that.
You know?
You know, now that you're actually at a point of the status of your peak, what do you feel is your worth right now in house music?
You know, that's a good question. You know, I started doing house music and I have some house music tracks that we released back in the 90s.
Okay.
With Poji, with DJ Pope and DJ OG.
Okay.
And then, you know, life happened, right?
Right.
Career, family, all of that.
Yeah.
So I came back to house music during the pandemic.
Right.
You know,
right, yeah.
well, just before the pandemic, and there were a lot of people, you know, who were involved in that. You know, DJ Randall Smooth out of
Right.
New Orleans, DJ
Yeah.
Tony Soul, my man.
Right.
We grew up maybe a mile apart, Bayside, Queens.
Right, right.
Went to college together. He's in New Orleans now.
Okay.
Like I said, Pope and OG. So a lot of people had their hand in me kind of coming back and really helping nurture,
Right.
you know, my development, you know. And so I still feel like, quite honestly, to answer your question, I still feel like I'm still growing.
Yeah. Okay.
I still feel like I have a lot of runway ahead of me
Okay.
in terms of building, if you would, the brand Ed Ramsey and that sound, right? And so, you know, I think I still have more to do in order to say, okay, this is what I'm worth, you know? And I really, quite honestly, I take that feedback from the DJs and the people who listen,
Right.
and how people respond to it. To be honest with you, I haven't really placed a value on what I do yet. To be
Right.
honest, because I still feel like I'm developing, growing, and still there's a lot more to give. You know.
You know, earlier we had a discussion about you doing different genres of music, and would you still pursue that? in a
Oh
sense?
yeah.
So
yeah.
I think the viewers need to hear about that
Yeah.
because you're not standing on just one step.
Right. Yeah, I'm working on, like, I still, you know, I work on gospel. I work on neo soul and jazz, contemporary jazz. And so yeah, like there's some work that I've done with a few producers that's more down tempo and it's more neo soul,
Right.
soulful,
When
that soulful R&B sound.
When I first heard your sound, speaking about jazz, I thought about Will Downing. Not seriously in comparison, voice pattern and the whole nine. And I'm like, that would be nice. I mean, to have you on the jazz album, I think that'd be kind of great.
Oh yeah.
And expanding your glory, man, around.
Yeah. No, Will Downing's one of the greats, man.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to Hathaway and of course Marvin Gaye and then you get into the crooner area. You got James Ingram and of course Peabo Bryce.
Right.
So I listen to all
Those
of that,
guys
man.
is like, man. I mean, if you could feed off all of them, man, you'd be brilliant.
Oh, definitely. Jeffrey Osborne, all of them, man. I listened to all of that growing up.
So let's talk about some current events, man, that you got coming up, new tracks. Matt, by the way, he's going to do a live performance before he leaves here. I'm not going to have that. So, it's going to be like, it got to happen. Let's talk about your new track. Now, I know you got quite a few. You might have a bundle of them. I don't know, because every time I turn around, he got something new coming up, or I'm hearing something. So what's new on the feature?
Yeah, so a couple of the new tracks, more recent tracks that came out, one of them was actually produced by a DJ producer out of Chicago.
Okay.
By the name of Sweet Georgie, G-Spot. George, if you're watching this, I'm sure he probably will because I'm gonna tag him.
Right.
But yeah, and that one is called Soul Deep.
Okay.
Right. And then there was another one that I recently did with another producer out of Chicago, and he's a DJ producer, Rick Lenore.
Okay.
And it's called Worth It. That one is more of a kind of a gospel house.
Right. Okay.
So, it really speaks to how we as human beings endure things in life, and ultimately, as we go through that, at the other side of that is something that God is really trying to show you and trying to, and on the other side of that is harvest. There's greatness on the other side of that pain. There's greatness on the other side of that struggle.
And it's funny that you say that, because when you said all that, I thought of the word purpose. When he applies something to you, he doesn't just give it to you hardcore.
Right.
He mildly feeds it to you, and to the point where you feel like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and step out on the limb a little bit and see what this is all about. So you gain that confidence.
Yeah. Right.
My question is, there's a lot of people that's growing up into this field of music, acting, trying to be entrepreneurs and things of that nature. And through your journey and your path, do you have anything that you can actually say to them to encourage them, to let them keep them up?
Oh yeah. So for me, there are a few things as you think about the journey, right?
Right.
Number one, being true to who you are, and what you're trying to accomplish. What are you trying to say to the world through whatever it is you're doing? What's your why? Right. And that's the question that I'm constantly asking myself. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to give? What are you trying to release to the world?
Right.
Because I believe that what I'm doing on purpose.
Right.
And a purposeful directive.
Yeah.
And so be true to that. Be true to your purpose. Be true to who you are and your character. Right. Number one. Number two, be dedicated. Don't be in one day and out the next.
Right. I hear you on
be
that.
dedicated, because to be an artist, everyone's not going to see what you see or hear what you hear or feel what you feel.
Right.
Ultimately, the goal of every artist is to draw someone into your view of the world, or your view of things, and how you express that, right? And so, be true to that, be dedicated, be purposeful, and have a little fun in the process.
Quickly before we end, give everybody your contact information so they can actually contact
Yeah.
you.
So if you want to contact me, I'm on all the social media platforms. You can get me on Facebook at my name, at Ramsey. I actually have a Facebook group page called Deep Inside My Soul. And that's where I actually feature other artists and DJs and their mixes and things like that. And I may feature some of my own music, but I try to, advance the culture as well, right? Mm-hmm. I'm on Instagram at Ramsey Is Music. You can catch me on TikTok, same thing, Ramsey Is Music. So yeah, I'm on all the social platforms. You can reach me there, and let's connect and enjoy the music.
And there it is. So we want to thank you for coming through to the Legends.
Oh,
man.
thank you. I know we've been trying to do this for a minute.
And so you guys stay tuned for the Nulla T. Lowe Video Productions, and stay tuned.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight.
This is our house.
My name is Gary Parker. I served as a Cavalry Scout and a military policeman in the United States Army for 20 years. When I was a Cavalry Scout, we had a young lieutenant that came in, great guy, but he moved on, got promoted to lieutenant colonel, went on to Afghanistan, and I was able to keep in contact. And I'd wake up one morning, go on social media, and there's that post you don't want to see. For whatever reason, he took his own life. Nobody knows why he did it. And if there's something that we could have done to prevent it from happening, safe gun storage can prevent gun suicide, because it's that added step to get to your firearm that might just give somebody a moment of reflection on what they're doing. As a veteran, we need to be ambassadors to people that don't have the knowledge that we have. Anytime you're not storing a weapon safely, you're putting yourself and your community at risk. Service never stops.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
My assignment, my calling is to inspire, uplift.
You have to make sure your people are partying.
All I want to do is just bring joy to the dance floor and watch people dance.
T-Lowe.
Woo, yeah, we're gonna make it. Gonna make it last forever. Oh, girl, I'm not saying words. We're gonna be together. Enough of you. I can't get enough. Every minute, every hour, your love gives me the power. I don't know if I can make it through. You got me in a trance. It makes me wanna dance. Your love, I never wanna lose. No, 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 no. Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Your love. Yes, you do. Your love. See, we've been together for too long, and In this love we gotta go through, we gotta keep things strong. I know, son, I know, son, I know it's been rough, it's been hard, but the love we gotta make it, baby. We gotta make it strong. That's why enough of you. I can't get enough. No, 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 no. We gotta go through the things we gotta go through to make it last forever. Oh, girl, listen. We're gonna make it last. We're gonna make it long. We're gonna make it last. We're gonna keep it strong. No, I'm not just saying words. We're gonna be together. We're gonna make it through the stormy weather. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah. Gonna make it last, yeah. I can't get enough, no, 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 no. I can't get enough of you, no, no. I can't get enough, no. I can't get enough, no, no, no. We're gonna make it last, we're gonna make it long, we're gonna make it last, we're gonna keep it strong. No, I'm not just saying words, no, 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 no. Woo. No, no, no. Na, 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 na. Oh, yeah. We're gonna make it last, yeah. Oh, whatever we need to do, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh. We're gonna make it last, yeah. I can't get enough. I can't get enough. No, 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 no. Oh, yeah, yeah. I can't get enough, no.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.